rat. The video ended at an hour, and I was yakking. I don't know how long, but I did notice the lens got tucked in, and I think I don't think I'm going to make a second video. So, take my word for it. I was saying something about work sharpening. Let me try it again. Hopefully, I have it cut it. When you cut thick cardboard, your knife enter. Cardboard have certain abrasive content, and the cardboard, especially the thick one, squeeze the side. The same thing if you sharpen by pinching. If you put your finger for abrasive and you pull it really tight, that's the shoulder of the apex, not the bevel, but I'm talking about really close to the apex, getting a little bit dull. The dull part going to subject to a lot more force as it penetrates. The abrasion there, you get abraded away a lot faster than the apex itself at that point. So at some point, the abrasion or the abraded part, or the one, the metal removal, become in the state of equilibrium, sustained. So the apex will stay a certain level of thickness. It's just like a hill that been eroded away, they decline downward toward the bevel and toward the blade itself. And yeah, so at some point that the thicker part of the blade will come in play. That means you have to use it, then you got to change the how the metal coming off a little bit. But however, for certain composition of how this the steel matrix and the amount of carbide in here, they will support certain metal removal rate. But if you have super high carbide, high alloy, actually the high alloy will protect the solder of the apex. As they get dull, they protect it. So as more and more, there are a lot of carbide begin protruding out and protecting the whole bevel face. So your edge actually degrade, keep degrading, while the bevel over here got well protected by a lot of carbide. So you can have this scenario instead of a receding edge. Stay sharp. I cut using the kind of metal. I mentioned before I cut 2.5 hours before, and the edge will stay working condition for that extent of time, that big pile before. And you can see some of the pictures, well, on some of my posting, picture of this big pile. They come out one cutting session. And yes, sure, it's hard to believe. But, oh well, too bad about my video got interrupted. But it's not that hard to replicate yourself. You see? What I really, in the end, really try to show you, it actually, there are more than just carbide that can get your work done, and it might outlast some other type of steel. But of course, you can say, well, my carbide alloy will cut longer. Probably for certain level of sharpness, maybe. I mean, but when they drop down till, say, below 80% of sharpness level, and certainly, well, you need to take out another knife. But in this knife, if it drops down to a certain level, I don't know, depend on the material, depend on the edge here, and how this knife heat treated. You might be able to keep good sharpness level for whole day, whole week. I don't know. I like my knife super sharp, so but this is working. I think I got a blister soon. Check and make sure that this is still recording. I don't know. I mean, I can keep going on, but I don't think I'm going to demonstrate the point more than what they just mentioned. And people can say, oh, you know, you claim something controversial. Could be. But when sometime like this, and say, well, you know, again, that knife, you shouldn't be able to cut this much purple. How come you keep on cutting? Of course, I need witness, except I got interrupted video, and no witness, of course. A lot of yakking and. But if it, you know, in the end, it's just for me, because of what I'm doing, or anything like that, or for you, somebody would try to replicate. Yeah, then we get throw something additional to the word of, you know, cutting. And instead of make knife that's disposable and throw away because people don't know how to sharpen it. What if you got a knife that keep peeling away for what you need to do, like this the kitchen knife, and if you get enough, I mean, not talk about you cannot sell everything, but you know, and for general purpose, then we are not as wasteful, and actually you have something useful. Well, this knife is not stainless, but well, the point is the concept is still the same. If I take it, stainless steel, razor stainless steel, ABL, or you know, another one, and 14C28N or something around there, and you can make something that it actually you want the steel abrade away as you use, and if you make a good geometry and support, and if you say, well, I use until I lose 3 millimeters of the blade before I toss it, well, that will be a couple years or longer, or much longer, or that case. And so, like this knife, I mean, it's so thin that, well, you have to wear away 5 millimeters. I don't think you're going to cut kitchen, I mean, in the kitchen, all the vegetable and other food or other thing that you're going to wear this much of abrasion going on. So you might have something. You can say, well, I want, of course now we have to add some soft one to relax myself. Finger. Yeah, I cut with S30V and things like that before, so I know how big the pie I can make before it just going to tear the cardboard and make. That's it. It's done. The knife is done for working. But with this one, And there are more going to a blade that a lot of people, again, what I used to think is just alloy, more carbide. And I say, well, what hold the carbide in place? Well, it's the steel matrix lattice. I mean, molecular bond. What the grain, what the fine grain of everything else, and how carbide. Well, there are a lot. I mean, even with carbide, I think with carbide is great if you can make the carbide really fine, small, and with good lattice. I mean, matrix coverage of that carbide hold on to it. And so if the interaction, okay, I got 2 blisters. I should wear glove on this one too, but oh well. Now I will have to sift my finger a little bit. Well, if it's long and boring, I make it super long and boring. Wow, why was I talking about carbide? Well, if you make a carbide, say like S30V or CBM M4, carbide size is 1 micron. Aggregation, or segregation to 1 mic instead of 2. Then you just spread out more carbide throughout the matrix. So now you have higher, first of all, because the carbide is smaller, they doesn't got to interfere with how the grain hold it. Well, in other words, distribution throughout the steel matrix. And they assume that you get good distribution. In other words, now you end up with the same density, but however, it's spread out more, so that when you cut, the carbide shield the matrix from being abraded away. And you have more wear resistance. And people say, wow, I need super strong matrix because hardness equal to strength, equal to everything. Anyway, well, initially at the hardness, everything too. But you have to realize there's a trade-off. If a force, when I cut through these things, the edge is going to impact something in here, undesirable. That impact there, well, you don't want that impact to fracture or crack or mess up that carbide. Again, talking about collision. So if you have certain pliable or ductile toughness, actually you can withstand it, even for this speed. But in the micron size, things move pretty fast, even for this hand speed. So they're the balance of hardness. But for, when you're talking about, say, hey, I can get S110B, 65 Rockwell hardness. Well, we have to figure it out. What is the coverage and what is the toughness? Yeah, sure, you want something that is hard and tough. But the problem is they're not inclusive. They're exclusive to each other. You get one, you lose the other. Unless you change something else more fundamental. Then you might be able to gain something extra. But that'll get a hint, get a deal. But I'm saying is, if my blade is 65 Rockwell on a normal heat treatment formula, I try to avoid my blister. That's why I cut funny. Then your toughness is it's pretty poor. So, and if you do anything like that, your blade might not do well. And you say, well, I baby my blade like a straight razor. You say, wow. Then you are working for the blade not working for you. I understand that abusing the blade versus abusing the blade. But when you have to be careful and don't use the blade like it's meant to serve you, like a tool. And then again, you're working for the blade, or you pay for it and you worship it, or more like you buy a Maserati and you buff it, clean it, and let it sit in the garage. And yes, you worship it and pay for it, insurance and all. It's a status symbol, yeah, of course. If you're a collector, yeah, no problem. But if you're going to use the blade and if you baby it, and if somebody wants to borrow it, use it correctly, not borrow it to abuse the pride or something. And you say, oh, no, don't. Well, I'm sorry, it sounds like sarcasm there or whatever, not be little thing, but I'm saying if the blade is designed to be used, in the working parameter, then it should be used. And if you claim you have a super steel, well, let's see it do super stuff rather than, well, a super, but it cannot do common sense stuff like usage. You don't really have super steel. What you have is what you claim to be or want to be, but okay, with all that, I don't know if you see the edge or not, but we see, did you see any light beside this glue they got on here now? But you can see, I don't think you can probably see them that clearly. But it's still a perfect edge. Of course, it won't slice phone book paper. I might have to slice real. I took it out of view again. Oh well. It won't probably slice. Also, it's dirty here. And you have to stop it. It won't bite. Let me go to the beginning there. Back it. Yeah, let's try cut. You see, I hold it edge so I can make sure I can make a clean cut. Don't have any chip or big massive damage. So I hold it. My finger spread it out and go. Okay, here. Yep, it won't slice freehand like that. The tip's still sharp, but the other thing is. But again, talk about working the edge. It doesn't tear. Well, it got a do funny thing to it. Yeah, of course, if I penetrate it and drag it, ugly. I will cut a few more and then I call it quit. Some soft now. One more. I have said a lot because just way to burn long time here. So maybe just blowing hot air, I guess you could consider. Some, if you think about it, I mean, hear the truth, but of course I got to interrupt it. It doesn't lie. Big pile. Let me see what the ruler. Here is the ruler. There you go. There you go. And I still have more, but my blister begin to hurt. 2 blister, I guess. Okay, so I got this edge. I said, well, what it would take from it to go on so I can slide newsprint. Okay, it won't slide newsprint. Oh, it do fast. Maybe it slides. Nope. Okay, so what it take? Well, for convenience, I got this is extra fine. This is DMT diaphragm, extra fine, which is about 1K grit, and this is extra fine. Well, I'm just going to go a few strokes on the extra fine, and just enough to slide newsprint. Let's see. Well, let's check. No damage, you can see. Okay, here you go. 2, 1, I guess 2 pairs. And I switched. I'm not that gentle with my sharpening, so pardon me. All right, let's see. Okay, that again. That again. I would call that really easy sharpening. Can I sharpen with sandpaper? Yep, because this is ball bearing. Have small amount of chromium carbide, but mainly they are mostly steel matrix. I mean iron and carbon. And so, well, that's all. Well, thank you for watching, and have a lot of patience, and of course keep a healthy skepticism about this because again it's a video and the internet.